This is WPTV Treasure Coast News.
Preparing now ahead of the storm. Tonight, what issues Treasure Coast homeowners face looking to stay prepared ahead of the upcoming hurricane season. A dramatic car chase that spanned hundreds of miles and through multiple counties. How it ended and the man behind the dangerous joyride. Good evening and welcome to Treasure Coast News on WPTV News Channel 5. Each Saturday at 7 p.m., you can join us here for dedicated coverage of stories and issues in and around the Treasure Coast from Stuart to Sebastian. Today we're at Graceway Village. If you've never heard about it, it's a St. Lucie County nonprofit that helps feed and clothe families in need. Later in the show, I'll tell you about a generous donation they received that's pushing the group into a new frontier that's needed now more than ever: housing.
All right, Megan, a quick check on your Treasure Coast weather. We saw some clouds, some storms today. Overcast skies across Jonathan Dickinson State Park in Hobe Sound. A little blue skies broke out towards the end of the afternoon, and we should stay mainly quiet for the remainder of your evening. Now, can't rule out the possibility of an isolated shower or so, but mainly dry conditions. Here's the scene right now from the House of Refuge in Stuart, and with the additional cloud cover today and some showers, temperatures were held down just a little bit, but still warm. 83 in Fort Pierce, 79 Port St. Lucie, 77 Okeechobee, 82 Sebastian, 82 degrees in Stuart. So here's the last 24 hours of rain across the region. Had some activity through the first half of the day, but now everything's pretty much pushing to the south. Let's go ahead and zoom in now to Martin County. You can see some light rain across US 1 near Tequesta and near Jupiter Farms. Also back towards Indiantown and Port Mayaca, seeing some light activity as well as a few spotty showers. We had one there in northwestern Okeechobee, but that has dissipated. Also tracking showers across the lake. I'll be back in just a few minutes with what you can expect for your Mother's Day.
First tonight, emotions are still running high after the leak of a draft Supreme Court opinion that could potentially end Roe versus Wade. The divide between two sides in the issue has been evident at one intersection in Fort Pierce for years, one that was viewed nationwide in an award-winning documentary. In a typically quiet area at 12th and Delaware in Fort Pierce,
God called us all to do something.
Mary Del Duca, on many days over the years, has set up her signs outside of this abortion clinic.
There's little babies here. I'm living, why shouldn't they live?
While across the street, Emily Fingerhut shares a similar passion, but for women's right to choose.
It makes me terribly angry to see that there are people who feel like they should have a say in my body and my choices.
Fingerhut has organized women's marches in the past throughout Fort Pierce.
My rights are being taken away from me.
And on 12th and Delaware, the conflict meets on one curbside by two parties passionate that their views are the right view.
Two sides are here.
On the east side of 12th Street, the Pregnancy Care Center says it gives women options to keep their pregnancy or consider adoption, but just steps away to the west side of the street, a Woman's World Medical Center says it gives women the option to end their pregnancy through abortion. The divide here has even been featured in an HBO documentary. That's why we also went here to hear their reaction to leaked Supreme Court documents that show Roe v. Wade might be overturned.
Horror and shock.
Happiness beyond control.
Fingerhut worried that women's health could be jeopardized.
It's not that we're going to stop having abortions. It's that we're not going to have a safe way to do it.
Del Duca, however, feeling hopeful for a reversal she never thought she'd see in her lifetime.
I just couldn't believe it. It's because you're doing this for so many years, and to see the light out of the tunnel, it would be a miracle.
Now they wait to see how the Supreme Court interprets the Constitution in a final decision about Roe v. Wade expected in the coming months. But a decision that's still unlikely to bridge the divide on this corner.
I definitely feel like our rights are supposed to be protected by the Constitution. That's kind of what it's all about. Why are they not protecting us?
The First Amendment right. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't have the other two without the first guy.
And our coverage continues online and on our free WPTV app. Tonight, renewed attention on mental health. Over on the Treasure Coast, suicide rates are at a 5-year high. At New Horizons, which covers the Treasure Coast and Okeechobee County, the nonprofit serves 15,000 children and adults. Recently, it redesigned a satellite office in Fort Pierce to provide adults transitioning from homelessness the chance to learn basic living skills. The pandemic has created a greater need for help of all kinds. Clients get help regardless of their ability to pay. We have information on how to connect with New Horizons on WPTV.com. New video released this week shows a dangerous criminal joyride that lasted for hundreds of miles, spanning several counties. The Martin County Sheriff's Office says the SUV was reported stolen and the driver at times was going more than 170 miles per hour. WPTV's Ryan Hughes with how deputies were able to safely make that stop.
We are at the 99-mile marker. He's in the number 3 lane.
A dramatic and dangerous chase down Interstate 95. Investigators say the driver behind this stolen Mercedes led multiple agencies on a chase for hundreds of miles through multiple counties.
By all estimates, the vehicle was doing about 178 miles an hour.
The Martin County Sheriff says this Mercedes was originally stolen out of Palm Beach County and ended up in Orlando. Florida Highway Patrol notified his office Monday night. The driver, 20-year-old Richard St. Laguerre, was heading his way after barreling through Orange, Osceola, Indian River, Okeechobee, and St. Lucie counties, turning his headlights off in the dark and weaving through traffic on the Florida Turnpike and I-95.
Except for an active shooter, perhaps a takeover bank robbery with multiple offenders, I can't think of anything that's more dangerous to the public at large.
All right, tires are coming apart.
Martin County Sheriff's deputies deployed stop sticks on 95 near the Hope Sound exit, ripping apart the Mercedes tires, but the driver then bolted on foot.
We got one guy running eastbound.
He ran across traffic and into the woods. You can see St. Laguerre crawling through the brush, but Martin County Sheriff's deputies were hot on his tail, and Canine Zorro quickly spotted the 20-year-old, and the 6-county chase officially coming to an end.
This was not a joyride. Somebody trying to get away this hard was not about a joyride. This is about hardcore traveling criminals going from county to county committing crimes.
Ryan Hughes, WPTV, Treasure Coast News.
The sheriff says the driver is from Pompano Beach and his 28-year-old passenger is from Boynton Beach. Both men are now facing a long list of criminal charges.
Now, exclusive Treasure Coast stories from our partners at TC Palm.
Steady population increases across the Treasure Coast could be responsible for more than higher housing prices and longer waits at restaurants. There has been an increase in structure fires here, and officials say the booming population could be one reason why. TC Palm's top premium story this week examines the sharp increase in structure fires in the last 5 years. Indian River and St. Lucie counties saw the largest increases. Although it's difficult to pinpoint any specific reason for an increase, experts say an expanding population and new construction are possible causes. Indian River saw the largest 5-year percentage increase. It had 111 fires last year, up from 46 fires in 2017, for a 141% increase. St. Lucie had more than 4 times the fires as Indian River and Martin, despite only having about double their populations. St. Lucie had 449 fires last year, up about 6% from 5 years ago. Martin only saw slight changes since 2017, averaging about 83 each year. Census data shows the collective Treasure Coast population increased about 14% since 2010. Also this week, TC Palm spotlights the top 15 April home sales across the Tri-County area. To find out the top sale price and for more exclusive Treasure Coast content, visit tcpalm.com/premium. I'm Executive Editor Adam Neal for TC Palm.
This is WPTV Treasure Coast News.
Well, you might never think you'll be without a warm meal at home or clothes for your children to wear to school, but for some families it's just one emergency expense or a hardship that puts them there. And it's happening to more and more local families. But Graceway Village here behind me has long been helping feed and clothe families in need, but now they're taking on an enormous housing project to help struggling families stay under the same roof. In 2 small buildings off Hartman Road in Fort Pierce, Graceway Village has developed a big name. for helping families overcome hunger and homelessness.
Come on this way.
Graceway Village's CEO, Kathy Mooring, shows us the work they've been doing for 12 years, providing free clothing for children and teens.
We want everyone coming here to feel respected and honored and just like everybody else.
Last year, she says, they clothed more than 2,300 children.
This is the cafe.
And on the other side of the campus, a food pantry and on-site kitchen.
We provide non-perishable pantry bags once a week to each of our clients.
They used to mainly serve more meals in-house, but COVID prompted meal pickups and sending teams out into the community with meals, expanding their reach.
Serve, instead of 150 max a night, we serve 350 max a night.
Last year, serving 48,000 hot meals, 13,000 of those were to children, and oftentimes delivering to hotels as families struggle to afford housing.
Where you have these children who, to no fault of their own, are there, and that's their home, a one-bedroom hotel room.
That situation not getting better since COVID. The nonprofit seeing an almost 30% increase in need since December.
Oh, it's increased, unfortunately, substantially.
But a local family newer to the area, William and Estelle Turney, have promised $1 million match donation to Graceway Village to build this family restorative living facility.
That gift, the $1 million matching gift, is just it leaves me speechless.
A step closer to building the $7 million project with 20 units to house 20 well-vetted families at a time.
You know, these are working families and they are getting up and going to work, but still not able to find a suitable, affordable house.
They'll be given a case manager, counselors, a financial planning education for up to 18 months. To make sure they can continue to support themselves when they leave and end, in some cases, generational poverty in their families.
Kids are going to be growing up with these knowledge and skills that we are able to instill in them and impacting generations to come.
For more perspective here, Graceway says that COVID put some families the equivalent of up to 10 years behind, meaning it could take them up to 10 years just to get back to the low-income status where they were when the pandemic started. If you'd like to help with a donation, that again will be matched. We have information on how to do so on our website, WPTV.com. Well, an important deadline is looming for Treasure Coast High School seniors. Applications for Indian River State College's Promise program are due on May 15th. The Promise program allows all Treasure Coast High School seniors to attend the school tuition free. Students will need to commit to Indian River State College by taking the Promise Pledge. For more information, go to irsc.edu. Well, Martin County schools want to steer out of a bus driver shortage before next school year. Campuses also need more food service workers like the cooks, who are in charge of putting together thousands of meals for students each day. The school district is going to be hosting job fairs every Wednesday. Schools are especially targeting retirees or parents who only want to work part-time.
We're very adaptable, so we always make it work, and we're never going to have a situation where, we won't be able to serve meals or we won't have busing for children that are entitled to that service under the statute. But it makes it difficult.
Martin County schools also need more substitute teachers. Pay for some of the jobs is between $11 and $19 an hour. And Congressman Brian Mast rolled up his sleeves this week and tried on a different career for a day, working behind the counter at a gas station in Port St. Lucie to get a different perspective on what businesses are dealing with as part of the National Association of Convenience Stores In-Store Day.
There's everything going on at the federal level. It affects how people can do business, from workforce to laws about IDing people for them purchasing things, to credit card swipe fees, to fuel prices and everything else in between.
The congressman said being behind the counter was a way for him to directly connect with employees and customers and find out what issues are important to them. A 0.5% sales tax to preserve land in Martin County will not be going before voters in November. County leaders voted against the tax hike, which would have been spread over 10 years. The money generated from the tax would have gone toward purchasing 4 preservation areas totaling 45,000 acres. Well, hurricane season is knocking on the back door, and with less than a month to go, if you aren't already ready, it's time to get prepared. WPTV News Channel 5's John Shaman has this reminder tonight from the people tasked with keeping us safe and informed.
At the Fort Pierce Green Market,
handcrafted domes.
You'll find some unique products.
They wanted special color socks.
But as vendors prepare their wares,
put it in a blasting cabinet and sandblast them.
Some, like Ron Hollywood Few, have already prepared for what may or may not come later this year during hurricane season.
Propane tanks, generators, I'm good to go.
Now's the time to kind of go over your hurricane plans.
St. Lucie County Fire Chief Nate Sparrow says they conducted a multi-agency exercise just a few weeks ago to get ready. And so should residents.
Making sure your generator works, now is the time to do it. Chances are if you're going to drop that off in the middle of July, you're not going to see it until the season's pretty much over. Go through, make sure whatever emergency supplies you have are on hand and ready to go.
Emergency Operations Manager Gustavo Vilches adds shelters should be a last resort. But if you need to sign up for a special needs shelter or pet-friendly shelter, do that now.
We've been preparing as well in keeping a good stock of personal protective equipment that could be utilized at our shelters should we have a surge in COVID-19 cases.
When it comes to evacuation routes, work on a replacement for the North Causeway Bridge is expected to begin this year, but won't impact the existing structure.
There once was a cocoa palm that lived by the sea.
Back at the Green Market, David Common says just like when he's making palm art, preparation is key.
And stock up food, water, and cash.
And Catherine Nason says it's appropriate to have a gnome or two around the house during storm season.
Gnomes are enchanted. They protect you, they protect your family, they protect your belongings.
John Shainman, WPTV, Treasure Coast News.
In meteorology school. Man, I don't know. I got to do some research there, but I do know that it's a warm Saturday evening across the Treasure Coast. 78 degrees right now, Port St. Lucie, 83 in Vero Beach, 82 Sebastian, 83 Fort Pierce, and Okeechobee, 75 degrees. As you can see, the bulk of the rain is now to our south, just tracking a few light showers across southern Martin County. And the overall trend is to not see a whole lot of activity overnight. From time to time, can't rule out the possibility of a fast-moving shower moving through overnight. Mother's Day looking pretty good. We will see some clouds around and a few isolated showers, but mainly dry. More sun than we saw today, and then we'll see less humidity as we head into Monday. Winds out of the west between 10 and 13 miles per hour across the Treasure Coast. Tonight, temps dropping down to about 70 degrees, few isolated showers. Then tomorrow for Mother's Day, 91 degrees, just a 30% chance of storms. It will be hot, so take it easy. And here's your extended forecast. Temperatures staying in the 80s after we get through tomorrow, the hottest day at 91.
Martin County Sheriff's deputies will soon be wearing body cameras as they patrol the streets this week. The Board of County Commissioners authorized the Sheriff's Office to make the purchase for the cameras, a cost that will come out to roughly $1 million per year for the next 10 years. WPTV's Derek Lowe has more on the need from the sheriff and the support from local officials.
Simply put, when Sheriff William Snyder says that his deputies have evidence of a crime, he calls it a slam dunk. Snyder also says that the reason for the need for body cameras is also partly due to a public expectation of law enforcement. Currently, Martin County is the only Treasure Coast county without body-worn cameras for deputies. Sheriff Snyder says the Sheriff's Office has been testing these kinds of cameras since January, and that based on 12 case studies from other law enforcement agencies across the country, body-worn cameras decrease use of force and increase officer safety.
If you said it in court, you raised your right hand, you swore to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, people believe what you said. And today, that's not the case.
Sheriff Snyder says that he hopes to have these body-worn cameras now implemented fully within 6 months. He says that he also now needs to hire 4 additional employees to help handle the video. In Martin County, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
And the Martin County Sheriff's Office isn't alone in investing in new gear for officers. New equipment is already in the works for Stewart Police. The department will soon have drones and more security cameras in high crime areas since the City Commission approved nearly $65,000 in funding. That's according to TC Palm. It's a part of an ongoing effort to fight gun violence. Police say there were 15 shootings last year. That's triple the number from 2020 and 2019. The Humane Society of Vero Beach and Indian River County is putting out a call for help. The shelter is preparing to take in 25 new dogs, and they need foster and adoptive parents to step up. The new dogs are all coming from a shelter in a rural part of Florida and were going to be put down. They're now expected to arrive at the Humane Society next week. To make room for their arrival, the shelter is asking people to open up their homes to foster or adopt current shelter animals. Adoption fees are being waived for all dogs over the weekend. Efforts to save Florida's manatees just got a big financial boost. This week, Governor Ron DeSantis announced $30 million of the state's budget will go toward manatee care, facilities, and habitat protection. Right now, the manatee's main food source, seagrass, is disappearing. The governor says money will go towards seagrass restoration projects in the Lake Worth Lagoon and the Indian River Lagoon.
We are putting our money where our mouth is on this with this record funding. It's something that we're very much supportive of. This is one part of a broader effort that we're making in Florida to support restoration projects and water quality projects.
FWC also launched a manatee feeding program last year to prevent starvation. As of right now, they've reported 200 fewer manatee deaths compared to the same time last year. Well, that is all for Treasure Coast News on WPTV News Channel 5. Thank you for joining us from the Graceway Village in Fort Pierce. Catch us again next Saturday at a new location as we aim to highlight the diversity of the Treasure Coast. And you can find more stories about what's going on here on the Treasure Coast at WPTV.com. Just click that Treasure Coast link at the top of the homepage. Thanks again for watching. Have a great weekend.